So in the locker room, it looked like a big, like box U, and I sat in the back right corner, let's say, and in front of. So I loved my seat. I think we had the most crazy like corridor, Taj. It was you, Mike Eccles, J-Dub sat next to me, John Welsh. I think Delonte McGrew sat there also. It was Lee Evans, Dantes. And I just remember you and Tez like feeding off each other, just talking crap to every single person in that corridor. And it was like, I just remember sitting back and Mike Allen was there too, the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
He, I think, was back there and just sitting there and just watching like this show. And it was just so funny. So Taj, when you say like you came in with a big head, but you rightfully so though, like you were probably one of the best recruits that Wisconsin almost might have ever recruited. Kind of deserved it. And then you played like it though. It wasn't like you came in, huffing and puffing and then did nothing. Like you were a starter for 4 years. Like you dominated. And that's what I loved about you. I love that you would talk smack on the field, get it done, come into the locker room, talk smack there. And it's so good to see you. And it's so like just fun to think about those moments. Like that was my favorite time, just sitting there watching people talk and BSing with everybody.
The locker room, I mean, a lot of people don't, if you don't play sports, you don't know what the locker room is like. It's hard to kind of describe it, but the camaraderie, the jokes, and just being comfortable with everyone, being able to, just have fun. I mean, oh man, you talking about on the field stuff. And I mean, I did talk a lot of trash. I did talk a lot of trash. And I think it also, not only did it, I Bleav it pushed me because, not only did I, I'm over here talking trash, but I also got to back it up, right? And, Coach Palermo wasn't one of those guys just to let you go out there and slack either, so it was coming from a D-line coach. GATA was one of our, that's how we broke our huddle. It was get after their ass. You know what I mean? So I always felt like we're, those guys on the other side, man, those are the enemy. You know what I mean? We got to go ahead. We got to cut the head off of this snake. We got to go after it. We got to get after their ass. And it was always, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get everybody else pumped up too. So like when I'm talking shit, everybody else is getting pumped up too. Right. And I remember the defensive line, me, JJ, J-Dub out there, and, Ras, we would like dust each other's shoes off and like, pop the collars and all kind of stuff. Like when we're out there, talk trash to everybody. And you want to create that atmosphere of killers, really, you know what I mean? And go out there and dominate, and have fun while you do it.
Were you that way in high school too? Were you talking trash in high school? I mean, I'm sure it was a lot easier to talk trash in high school because you were, the competition in high school is not nearly the same as in the Big Ten. And when you're your size and athletic ability, you can talk a lot of smack and pretty easily back it up.
Yeah, well, high school, what gets me is when the guy across from me starts running his mouth. In high school, it wasn't really too many people running their mouth. It was more like, what are we going to do? You know what I mean? They're making sure their chin straps are tight, and it's a whole different game. But in college, you could be a freshman going against a senior that's about to go into the draft next year, or you're going against another guy that made all Big Ten, stuff like that. And sometimes you need to pump yourself up. Sometimes you need to go out there, talk some trash, get him to say something, get him to get you mad. Because sometimes you play better when you're mad. And I was going to say, some people, when their tanks are empty, they tap into that last little bit, ass kicker that they have left or whatever, to be able to go ahead and make another play.